Hey everyone, it's Amelia here, and today I have a guest student, and this is someone who's actually a supporter through Patreon. If you haven't checked that out, I will link it down below, so check me out on Patreon. But anyways, she submitted a nice little clip of her horse kind of schooling the pre-St. George movements, and I will kind of talk you guys through this and give her some pointers. She told me that she has trouble with uphill balance and collection and engagement with this horse. So before I show you the clip, it looks like these two really have a partnership. Like there's a lot of harmony between horse and rider, which is always just so nice to see. You can tell that they're a partnership and a team, and that's so much about what dressage is. So first off, that's really super nice to see. The second thing that I want to point out is that she doesn't have a dressage court set up. And I ride a lot without a dressage court also. You're going to find that sometimes it shows you don't have a dressage court. And it's really challenging that even when you don't have a dressage court, you have to kind of ride accurately. So you need to still ride corners or turns and straight lines. Absolutely, I believe it's great for the horses to get out into a bigger arena. We have this gigantic jumping arena at my barn, which I try to get the horses into at least once a week because it's so good for them to not have to turn so much and be confined to a 20 by 60. But you'll notice that because she doesn't have a court up, she has a little bit more difficulty with her corners and her lines. For example, turning onto the diagonal line for her changes is a little wavery. You know, it's not like she turns, looks, sees the letter, and is able to get her horse straight. So this is just something to think about when you're not riding in a dressage court, which happens a lot. You know, in the winter you have to take it down for the weather or whatever, but that you still make imaginary corners and straight lines even if you don't have the dressage court up. So one thing that I would add to this to help her get a little bit more uphill balance is some transitions. So on a horse like this, I would do a lot of like canter walk canter transitions across the short side, in the corners, even within, for example, the canter half passes. You could do canter half pass and then make a walk transition and continue in a walk half pass and then pick up canter again, all staying in the half pass. So those are just some tips that I hope will help you guys and help her along with her horse. But like I said before, it's just a super nice partnership. And yeah, the horse could be more uphill, but every horse has its issues. So hopefully this helps her get along a little better with her horse. And I really appreciate all of you guys watching and your support. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and check me out on Patreon. Thanks so much. So to start out with, the horse has a nice canter, 3 beats. I love how she's riding the horse nicely forward, and it's also great to see her in a nice big arena. I think it's really good to get the horses into bigger arenas than just a dressage court. So here we see a nice half pass to the left. The horse is bending. To me, the horse could have a little more engagement, and you see at the end there she a little bit lost the haunches, but she has a nice flying change and then a nice turn. So let's talk about this turn here. I would like to see the rider turn her shoulders a bit more. She needs to bring her right shoulder back and let her left shoulder come more forward. And that'll help that the horse doesn't kind of lean in on the turn, but that the horse would stand a little straighter up in the turn. These corners are really important even though the dressage court isn't up, because the corners are what set you up for the half pass. Like here, that was a better turn into a nice half pass. And here she's showing a nice half pass, straightening him nicely to a nice straight change. So again, looking at her corner, we want to see here her left shoulder come back, her right shoulder comes forward, and I'll put that in slow motion for the corner again. Now she's going to go on the diagonal and go straight, and you saw how in that corner the haunches slid a little to the outside. She lost the haunches a little to the right in the corner. But here we have 3 nice 4 tempi changes. Those were all very straight and correct changes, so that was nice to see. And then again, another turn and onto the diagonal, and then she shows us the 3 tempies. Again, all nice changes. The first change was a little bit crooked with the hips to the right, but the rest of the changes were very good. So overall, this is a very nice, pleasant picture. Yes, the horse could be a little more uphill, a little more engaged. I think doing a lot of canter, walk, canter transitions will help that. Here she shows us a little bit of a schooling pirouette. My recommendation to improve the schooling pirouette would be for her to sit just a little more back and think a little more haunches in, but keeping his shoulders up. I think that will help clean up this schooling pirouette if the haunches can come a little bit more in and keeping his inside ear up.